It's not gonna be a PF Chang's, but it should be pretty nice. Hi everybody and welcome to Cats and Pats. I know I need to clean off my bookshelf, just don't look at it. So we've done a lot for feral and outdoor kitties this winter. We know how to build them a shelter, we figured out a couple ways that their water won't freeze, but now we want to give them someplace to eat. And you might think, well, they have this shelter, just stick the food in there. But that's bad for a couple reasons. First off, if it's water and that water spills in your shelter, then everything gets damp, the cat could get wet, and now everybody's worse off. If it's food, same sort of thing, it might just spill in there, get nasty. We don't want that. Also, if you have food in there, then like raccoons or opossums try to get at the food, and you might have a fight. You don't want to be attracting other animals into your cat's shelter. But you do want to have a place where you can put some food and water that's like safe and dry and not gonna get like, rain or snow on it. So that's where we are today. And this should be a relatively easy, quick DIY, and it's really, really cheap. $10 maybe? Maybe less if you have stuff just lying around. But let's get into it. First thing you're gonna need, and maybe the only thing you have to buy, is one of these 30-gallon plastic totes with like, the latchy handles. Now it doesn't necessarily have to be as thick of a plastic like tote thing as this. The main reason I got this one is I thought that thicker plastic would be easier to cut without it like breaking and shattering. Some of those clear plastic ones are kind of fragile and delicate. I didn't want to have to bother with that. A big thing is you want depth. Because in his final resting position, which will be like this, you want enough space for a cat to be able to get in there and sit comfortably and be able to eat and be completely covered from above. So yeah, 30-gallon tote. I'm pretty sure it's 30 gallons. I'll do a little text note here just to make sure. So we can toss that to the side. Next thing up, you're gonna need probably about one 2x4. I actually have a few right here. You're gonna need short pieces. I just didn't feel like cutting this wood right now. Really, all you need is about this height twice, which is not even a full board. Hello there. Oh, hello there. So if you have scraps around the house, or maybe you have a friend that just has scraps of wood, that'll work. And you'll see later why it doesn't make that big of a difference. Next, you're gonna need a few screws. I just have some like wood screws. I think they're wood screws, of varying lengths. They just have to go through your plastic and into the board. And they're not gonna have like a lot of stress on there. It's mainly to hold in place. So really, I think any screws will work. Even a hammer and nail might work, but I mean, screws are easy. Just go with screws. Bugga, where's my drill? Along those same lines, you're gonna need a drill. This video brought to you by DeWalt. DeWalt drill, strong since 1909 or something. It's not really sponsored by it, but that'd be awesome. All right, Luna, you can just hold that. A Sharpie if you're not good at freehand cutting. A box cutter or whatever you want to use to cut through that plastic. I think a strong box cutter is the ideal thing, but maybe you have something else. Some duct tape, color doesn't matter. You could have it match your box if you want. I just happen to have black. And last but not least, a hairdryer. I kid you not, this will help you out so much. And if you've seen my shelter video, you know how this helps, but we'll get to that in a second. Okay, so the idea here is we want to make a nice sheltered cave that our cats can come and get inside and be protected from like, the elements and eat nice dry food or water or whatever. What we're gonna do is, I'm gonna try to draw a cut line like along here. I wanna keep the handles there, that way it can like hold in place and be secure. So I'm gonna start down here, kind of go abruptly up, over, and down. Oh yeah, I think these edge pieces might be the worst, so good luck with that. So. Straight lines are not my forte. So I'm not sure if I should start from the inside or the outside, but I think if I keep the lid on, it'll be easier for me to kind of like press against it and like keep going, I think. Also, Bugga's kind of settled down, so we have to work around her schedule. So the idea with the hairdryer, you're gonna take this, turn it on high or whatever settings. This has like 10 buttons on it. Make it really warm, and you're gonna hold it close to the plastic right where you wanna cut. And just kinda go over it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for a while. And you can like feel the plastic, it'll be warmer. That kinda makes it more buttery, and then your box cutter goes in and cuts through a lot easier. And you'll have to iterate back and forth. You'll heat up some, cut some, heat up some, cut some. If you have a really good cutting tool, or maybe not as hard of plastic, you might just be able to zzz right through it. But I like the hairdryer way. How do I make the hairdryer on high? Do I put all the buttons upwards?
This is the low one. That's like how far it blows. Here, you can use that to control that.
Well, you know.
Or you know.
Thanks. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And cut quick. Oh yeah, like butter. Silky smooth. Is it still hot? So that was super silky smooth to cut through. I started dragging my blade along, and I think I could probably force this all the way, and it'd probably go, but I don't want to, 1, break the plastic, 2, stab myself in the stomach. But I might try to do like a big hairdryer pass, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and just give myself enough of a bonus that I can right through it. One more iteration, then I'm just gonna do the edges. So this will probably be the hardest part for you to cut, but I'm just gonna get it really warm and just see how well I can slice through it. Oh man, that's nice. Oh, sorry, honey. Yeah, that makes it a ton easier. It's just a wonderful trick. Sorry, Bugger. And boom, there we go. That actually went a little better than expected. Also, safety note, make sure you're really careful when you're box cutting, especially through something thick, because you're putting more force in there, so you have an easier chance of like slipping and really like zinging this either away or towards yourself. So just be careful when you cut. Also, if you take the lid off, make sure you don't accidentally like start slicing through there and then get your fingers on the other side. So next thing I want to do is get some duct tape. I'm gonna wrap these edges all along here. Most of it feels okay, but there are some kind of like sharp spots throughout. And if you have thinner plastic, chances are you'll have more of those sharp spots. So just take a minute or two and tape it up. So I just realized, do you see her in the background? Bugger, what are you doing over there? Yeah, you can see her little floofy belly. Okay, so we're all taped up. I'm gonna toss this back on. It still clips on nice. It's not gonna like shake off or fall or anything. And we got our start. Next thing I wanna do is get this on some boards. This will help get it off the ground. Any puddles of water it won't touch. And not being in contact with the frozen ground will make this whole thing warmer. So, you're gonna need your 2 boards or board scraps, and they're only gonna need to be like 1.5 to 2 feet. Once again, as tall as your box is. I just happen to have 2 full boards here, which I'll use for demonstration. So you get your board, set it down, get your other board, slide it over. Can you see her face? Her little floofy face? Bugger, what are you doing? Right, so you have your 2 boards. You might have to move a cat toy or 2. And you want your 2 boards to not quite be the full width of this. So they'll be set, just inside this area. Also, you want the lip of your carrier in front of the board here. So that when you set it down, it's like more, level. If you have it up on this, it becomes kind of leveled backwards, and we don't want that. Hey, Wendy. What are you doing in there? There's nothing in there yet. So get your boards in place, try to make sure they're even all the way back. Move this back on there. And actually, you can take your lid off right now, because we don't need that when we're putting this stuff on. And you just want to put a screw or 2, front and back. Just to hold them in place. These screws don't have to be too long. You mainly just want to attach, this to your boards. And you want to make sure they're flush all the way down. And if you're doing this inside like I am, make sure your screws aren't too long. And so like, as you're drilling this, you're going to go all the way to your actual floor. So, hey buddy. Easy, it just goes all the way down. And there we are, nice and sturdily attached. And so we're almost done, except for maybe one more small test. So, I have a little bit of water here. And if I pour this in, you can hopefully see on the screen that it flows to the back and pulls up. If you have this thing outside and some rain blows in, or maybe a wet cat walks into it, all that moisture is gonna get trapped in there and just stay. And like we said before, that's really bad. So you have 1 or 2 options, maybe do both. First, I'm gonna wipe up the water. Okay, we don't need to play anymore. Well, the first solution that doesn't actually require any other labor on your part is just to have this thing on a hill slanting downwards. But unless you happen to have a hill, that won't work. So, you can take a box cutter or a drill or whatever and actually drill some holes in the back. That way any water that gets there will actually drain out. But unless you put like a lot of holes in there, you might still have little pockets of water. On the other hand, the more holes you have in there means the more cold air will come through, which goes against the idea of this anyway. So the other idea is just to get another scrap of wood or maybe even some sturdy rocks. And then you take that wood and slide it underneath the back, behind your feet. or underneath your feet. But in doing that, now your entire feeding station is tilted forward. And you don't have to do a cross piece per se, you can just put like little feet on either side of your board. So if this is your back, you just want something underneath here to tilt it up a little bit. So now if I get my water, I put a towel down first this time, and I pour it in. It all floods forward out of the shelter. Even in the far back, all comes forward. Pretty interesting, isn't it, kitties? You guys like this? I can put it in the kitchen if you want. Doesn't seem like it'd really go with the decor. Alright, let's put our top back on. Excuse me, kitties. Oh, okay. Like this. Snap that on. Snap that on. Apparently I need another towel. And if you want to, when you put this outside, you can actually put some straw underneath here, like between your two boards, and that will help create some insulation between the ground and the feeding station. If you want to, you might be able to make this length a little bit longer and make the entranceway smaller, but that might be something you have to play with because a feral cat won't want to feel trapped in there. But it might be something where you can like cut it this high at first, and then you have like another piece of plastic you can use as a flap and like bring it down a little bit more. That way it's still a little bit more enclosed, but at that point they're used to it. And so, after you have this all set up, you can, take this whole arrangement outside, get your food and water dishes, which mine are pretty small, but they'll work for example. And you just toss them all the way in the back here. And now those outdoor cats will have a nice place they can eat, they'll be dry, it'll be away from their shelter, so you can have one station for multiple shelters. If you are doing wet food because you have cats that you know will be there immediately, it still won't cool down as fast, although wet food in the outdoor months is still not recommended, unless those cats are right there to eat it. But there you have it, this is a quick and easy 15-20 minute job probably. I think it's taken me less than an hour to record, and that's with me like trying to position things and get things together. And yeah, it's just really cheap and easy and can really help out a lot of kitties. And if you have any good ideas to make things better, I'm always willing to make another video and try to see like, how can I do this to, feed more cats or make it better or keep food, warmer or drier or safer. I've been getting a lot of cool ideas from all of you, so thank you. It's just been awesome. And if you're new here, I have other videos that pertain to like, building outdoor shelters and things, as well as like toy DIYs and random informational things. So if you like all that, hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
What is happening to Bug's tongue? Oh my god, it was sticking out so far, Jason.
Was it? Well, Buggy, you're on video, so I can see it.